Buongiorno, buon popolo. During February, we've considered a variety of themes in our worship and life together. At Christmas, and in the 40 days that followed, we celebrated the birth of God in human form, which we call incarnation, God taking our flesh. God loves matter because he made it, which means that our physical selves are not only blessed by God, they can be transformed such that we are not slaves to our flesh, and we might rise above our selfish impulses and allow love to flourish. The instinctive attitude of love is to look to the other rather than ourselves, indeed, even to sacrifice ourselves for the sake of the other. Thus, on the 6th of February, we commemorated the 70th anniversary of the accession of our Queen and her example as a life of service which inspires us all to give of ourselves for our neighbours. The following week, we marked Racial Justice Sunday, weighing our responsibility to treat everyone, whatever their race, culture, or background, with the same respect and generosity of spirit which God demonstrates to the whole human race, all of whom he has created. And then last Sunday, in a green Eucharist, we marked our commitment as stewards of creation. This Sunday, in our Gospel reading, we will hear the story of the transfiguration of Jesus, the moment when he ascended Mount Tabor with his closest disciples, and the appearance of his face changed, and his clothes became dazzling white. He was seen speaking with Moses and Elijah, the representatives of the law and the prophets, whose destiny he was to fulfill at Jerusalem. As Lent begins next week, and we turn our hearts and minds towards the cross, we consider the nature of the sacrifice which he undertook in order to allow our nature to be transformed. But be sure, this talk of transfiguration and transformation does not mean that God intends or asks us to change our identity. Those of us who took part in the Living in Love and Faith course last year were able to reflect on the importance of respecting that matters of identity, and especially sexuality, were not moral choices, and rather were part of our God-given nature. This is why the Church of England's General Synod 5 years ago voted to support the government's plan to ban what is known as conversion therapy, the means by which some people think it is possible to change a person's sexuality or gender identity. Recently, a group of Christian leaders have petitioned the Minister for Women and Equalities to stop this ban, on the basis that it could be considered an infringement of religious freedom to prevent praying that a gay person might change their sexual orientation. The petition infers that same-sex relationships are not recognised by people whom they call Orthodox Christians. But I want to say clearly that I think they are mistaken, and I believe that we should support the ban on conversion therapy on the basis that it is coercive and fails to respect the identity of any individual who is subjected to it. I have therefore signed a counter-petition of Christian leaders, which includes this declaration: we believe that lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex, and queer peoples are made fully and beautifully in the image of God, and that their sexualities and gender identities can neither be cured nor changed, for this is how God has made them to be. In the Transfiguration story, a voice from heaven said, "This is my Son, my chosen. Listen to him." St. Francis taught us always to be grateful to God and to emulate Jesus Christ, who is our moral compass. Earlier in Luke's Gospel, we heard in the mouth of Jesus these words, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to let the oppressed go free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favour." These are the only changes of which we are called to be a part. To seek justice as the basis of peace. And in this time of international tension, that is our truth to share in a world longing to hear it.